Good day. I'm Keith. I am the Gospel Reader. And I'd like to welcome you to the channel. And I'd like to share some time with you and just tell you a little bit about who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. The goal of what I'm doing, the goal I've particularly made, is to go over the entire Bible over the next approximately 2 years, one chapter at a time. I have been a Sunday school teacher for 18 years, 20 years, and most of that time have taught the Bible. And what I've found is that the vast majority of people really don't have any, sincere as they are, it just seems incredibly difficult to sit down and read a book you don't really understand very well. And we make all kinds of assumptions about what's there and what's not. The language isn't what we normally speak. And I went through all of that in my younger years. And it would have made a whole lot of difference to my life if I had been smart and learned what I needed to learn and could have learned from the scriptures very simply by learning what was there and learning how to learn from them. Now, along the way, in my learning process, I became a Latter-day Saint, what most people call a Mormon. And this past summer, after 40 years membership in the church, I decided to do something which most other people, I suspect, would have done many years ago. And that was examine how I feel about the church, why I feel the way I do, what my mission is. And as a result of that, as a result of coming up with that mission statement, as many companies have mission statements, many people do, as that, I realized that I wanted to share the joy that the gospel has brought to me with other people. And so that's why I'm going to teach from the Bible the mission and life of Jesus the Christ. And since his mission is talked about at every point along the way in the Old Testament, and not just in the New Testament, where it starts to talk about his birth, you need to know both. And the more you know about Jesus Christ, the more you will see the advantage of living the way he lived. And living the way you can live, implementing the teachings that Heavenly Father has given us through the Bible. Now, I'd like to read to you the statement that I came up with this summer. I don't hold it up as necessarily being the greatest writing on the history of the world. It's just something I came up with for me that I could put up around my home and each day have a look at and assess how I was living compared to what I had written. I believe that we need to live as though in reality each day is our last day, or could be our last day, because it very simply could be. None of us have a guarantee that we're going to be around here forever. And one day we're going to be right. One day it is going to be our last day. I've faced death numerous times. When I lived up in the Yukon, I was charged by about 1,200-pound, very angry moose who didn't want to become my meat supply. And there was my friend Robin and I, and we were very lucky. When he finally went down, he was less than 3 feet from us, and he had a 64-inch rack and very big tines, and we'd have been hung out to dry pretty good with holes all through us if Robin's last bullet hadn't done the job. I faced down 2 grizzly bears at less than 20 feet each, a couple of black bears about the same distance when all I had was a single shot left of my .22 rifle. Faced some very interesting situations because of work that I had one young man stick a gun in my face and threaten to kill me. Had some very interesting challenges. So I think I come at this from a point of view of having faced some of this a little bit. And I hope you don't ever have any of those experiences. But all of us are going to die sometime. And although we can live and pretend, we can create a lifestyle for ourselves here however we want. We can be any kind of person we want here. We live in democracies, and many of us. We live in countries that will have any kind of lifestyle, allow us to do anything we want. But when we die, we go to Heavenly Father's home turf. And He's the one that's going to set the rules, or it's actually told us in the scriptures what the rules are for there. And those of us who really want to have the best possible life here and the best possible life there are going to be smart and learn to follow the guidelines that are set out for us, so when we go home to the place we came from, which is where Heavenly Father is now, we aren't going to be a stranger to the house rules, and we're going to know why they're smart. So what I'd like to do is to try to do something. You've got to try and do two things at the same time here. I'm going to try and read off the screen, and I'm going to try and look like I'm looking into the camera, and it's going to be kind of hard. So bear with me. I'm going to try a little bit, but I want to read this to you, and I really recommend that you think about how you are as a person and what matters to you in your life, and sit down and write out for yourself your own mission statement, your own life mission statement, whether it's you as a father, you as a husband, you as just a plain individual person, you as a mother, you as a wife, you as a family member, you as an employee, you as a citizen of your country, whatever. Because all of those things apply. But you as a person and what your values are really is probably the most important thing for you to identify, and perhaps the most motivating thing that you can do. So I'm going to try and read, and not sure I'm going to keep good eye contact, but I'm going to try. This is a skill I'm trying to learn, and it's awkward for me, but we'll give it a try. So here goes. I am a Latter-day Saint. I am a full-time, totally committed disciple of Jesus Christ. I won't look back, let up, slow down, back down, or be still. I know where I came from, I know why I'm here, and I know where I'm headed. I am nowhere near perfect. I have so very much to learn. My faults are obvious to everyone, especially to me. But I have a friend called Jesus who is perfect, and He can help me and will help me along my way. I strive to live by inspiration, learn by faith, love by patience, lift by prayer, and labor with the power of God. My pace is set. My gait is fast. My goal is celestial. The road I travel is straight and narrow. The mountains are high. The way is rugged. My companions are few. My guide is reliable, and my mission is perfectly clear. I cannot be bought, compromised, deterred, lured away, turned back, or stopped. I will never flinch in the face of sacrifice, hesitate in the presence of adversity, negotiate with the enemy, pause at the pool of popularity, or meander in the maze of mediocrity. I will be the very best I can be in every single aspect of my life. I am a Latter-day Saint. I must go forward until I am called home, give until I drop, teach until all know, and work until Jesus comes again. And when He comes again, He will find me doing the very best I know how to build His kingdom here. Thank you very much. I'm going to do my best to help you as best I can. I look forward to sharing with you the best I know how.